Wow. I mean, what a way to start, right? A threat that chilling. But how on earth does a simple online chat get to this point? Well, you're about to find out, and believe it or not, this entire firestorm started with a technical problem that we've all dealt with, a bad microphone.
So today, we're going to do just that. We are going to dissect this absolute meltdown from a live audio chat to really understand the mechanics of how these online conflicts just ignite and spiral completely out of control. We're going to break down all the key moments, step by step.
All right, so here's where it all begins. It's not with some big disagreement or a personal insult. Nope, it's a simple, super frustrating tech glitch. You know, the kind of thing that happens all the time. But in this case, it was the tiny spark that was about to light a massive fuse.
So picture the scene. The speaker, a guy named Larry, is trying to talk, but his audio just keeps cutting out. And at first, the audience is trying to help. You know, they're typing in the chat, they're speaking up, just trying to let him know, hey man, we can't hear you. It seems like everyone's on the same team, trying to solve a problem. Or so you'd think.
And Larry himself, he knows what's going on. He acknowledges the problem. You can hear the frustration in his voice just building and building as he says his mic keeps muting. And this creates this feedback loop of frustration, right? The audience says they can't hear him. He says he knows they can't hear him, and the tension in the room just keeps ticking up.
And this right here is the crucial turning point. This is the moment everything changes. The frustration that was aimed at the technology, the stupid microphone, it suddenly pivots. And it's no longer about the tech. It becomes about the people who are right there listening to the problem.
So instead of just, logging off or trying to fix the issue, Larry completely flips the script. He starts questioning the intelligence of the audience for just being there. He's basically saying the problem isn't his mic, the problem is them, for being slow enough to stick around and listen to silence.
And there it is. With that one line, the pivot is complete. He goes from questioning them to just outright insulting them. And it becomes crystal clear this is no longer about a broken microphone. The firestorm has officially been lit. On purpose. Okay, so now something really fascinating happens. Larry seems to sense that the drama is actually getting him attention. And in this online world where outrage often equals clicks, he makes a very conscious choice. He decides to lean into the anger, and he turns his personal meltdown into a full-blown performance for the crowd.
This is the smoking gun right here. This is the moment it becomes totally deliberate. He explicitly says that if the audience wants content, well, he's ready to give it to them. The line between his real frustration and a calculated performance of rage just gets completely erased. He's not just angry anymore, he's decided to turn the whole conflict into a game.
So, with the stage set for this performance, the general anger now needs some specific targets. So Larry starts calling people out by name, turning this public chat room into his own personal courtroom where he can settle all his old scores.
And he doesn't waste any time. He just lays out his list. Michelle, Ebony, Craig. Now, these aren't random people. These are specific members of his online circle. And by naming them like this, he's making the conflict deeply, deeply personal and drawing some very clear battle lines for everyone who's listening.
And then he drops an absolute bombshell. This isn't just petty online drama anymore. He levels an incredibly serious and frankly disturbing accusation against one of these people. He's now weaponizing this deeply personal and traumatic history in a very public forum. And he's just escalated the stakes to the absolute maximum.
He then kind of zooms out and broadens his attack to the community's entire culture, coining this term flip-floppy. He's basically accusing everyone of hypocrisy, of not having any real principles. He's pointing out how they'll publicly condemn someone for something serious, but then turn around and associate with them later. It's a full-on critique of their social code.
And the attacks, they just keep on coming, one by one. He labels another person, Michelle, a snake, just reinforcing this narrative that he's built, that he's surrounded by liars and backstabbers. He is systematically dismantling his entire social circle in real time, for everyone to hear. So after targeting individuals, he zooms out again, and this is where the conflict goes nuclear. He moves way beyond his personal grievances and makes a threat against the entire online community they're all a part of. And believe me, this is the point of no return. I mean, what a line. I got the key to the city. He's positioning himself as the ultimate gatekeeper of information, basically saying he has secrets on everyone.
This is a pure power play, and it's designed to intimidate not just the people he named, but anyone listening who might have something to hide.
This quote right here makes his goal crystal clear. It is not about winning an argument anymore. No way. The threat is now aimed at the platform itself, the actual digital space where their community lives. He's promising to cause maximum chaos and to tear the whole system down.
And here it is, the core threat, boiled down to 3 simple words. It's a promise of mutually assured destruction. He's essentially saying, if I go down, I'm taking every single one of you with me by revealing all of your secrets. He is holding the entire community hostage.
So, just when it seems like the entire world is about to go up in flames, the speaker makes a sudden and, frankly, bizarre pivot. He completely changes his strategy, moving from this all-out war to a very peculiar kind of withdrawal.
This exit strategy is just wild. So, after whipping his audience into an absolute frenzy, he demands a link to the room of Michelle, one of the people he just viciously attacked. He then pins the link for everyone to see, tells them all to go there, and then announces he's closing his room and he's just going to bed.
You got to see this for what it is. This wasn't a surrender, it was a tactical redirection. He created the firestorm, and then instead of dealing with the heat himself, he basically picked it up and threw it into someone else's house before just walking away completely. He made sure the chaos would continue, just somewhere else.
And yup, the source audio confirms exactly what happened next. Dozens of confused, angry, agitated people immediately flood into Michelle's room, demanding answers, trying to piece together the absolute explosion they all just witnessed. The chaos was successfully migrated.
And that brings us full circle. I mean, look at this comparison. It shows just how far and how fast everything escalated. It started with a simple, common problem, a muted microphone, and it ended with a digitally orchestrated mob being sent to a rival's digital doorstep. It's really the perfect anatomy of a digital meltdown.
Which really leaves us with this final thought, doesn't it? After breaking this whole thing down, you have to ask yourself, was the speaker's goal ever really to win an argument, or was the goal to create chaos, to become the center of the story, and ultimately to control the narrative, even if that meant burning everything to the ground? It's something to think about the next time you see a firestorm brewing online.